The city was alive that morning with the usual rush of cars, buses, and people chasing time, but fate had already written a story no one could expect, a story that began with the arrogant yet lonely son of a powerful millionaire and a humble maid carrying her little baby in her worn shawl, a story that would test pride, compassion, and the truth about who really has a heart of gold. And as you listen to this tale, remember that real life teaches us the deepest lessons, so make sure you subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss stories that open your eyes and touch your soul. Now, the millionaire's son, Daniel, was used to people bowing before him. His father owned half the city, and with that power came respect, or at least the fear that looked like respect, and Daniel thought the world owed him everything, driving his shiny black sports car recklessly through crowded streets, honking impatiently at anyone too slow to move. He smirked, not realizing that within moments his life would be flipped upside down, quite literally, when a delivery truck swerved suddenly. Brakes screeching and metal colliding, the truck rolled partially, crashing into Daniel's car, pinning him beneath its crushing weight. Glass shattered, people screamed, smoke rose, and in seconds the once proud millionaire's son was trapped, his voice echoing with cries for help. "Please, someone help me, I can't move." Yet the crowd that had gathered froze. They knew who he was, the spoiled son who never respected anyone, who often insulted the poor, who threw money at waiters instead of saying thank you. And now when his desperate hands stretched out from under the wreck, bleeding and trembling, they looked at him and turned away, some even whispering, "That's the rich brat, maybe he deserves this, let's stay back, the police will come." But Daniel's breaths grew shorter, his cries weaker, panic filling his chest, and tears mixing with dust on his face, when suddenly from the back of the crowd stepped Maria, the poor maid known to everyone in the neighborhood, dressed in faded clothes, her baby tied against her chest with a scarf. She had just finished her morning cleaning work in a nearby cafe and was on her way home when she saw the accident, and though her arms were tired and her body weak, her heart was stronger than the whole crowd combined. Without a second thought she pushed through the people, ignoring their warnings. "Don't go, it's dangerous, the truck could explode." But Maria only tightened the scarf around her baby and said, "If that were your son under there, would you just watch him die?" Her words pierced the air, silencing the bystanders, and she rushed forward, kneeling beside Daniel, his terrified eyes meeting hers, not believing that a maid, someone his father's mansion staff would usually ignore, was the only one willing to save him. And with trembling hands she tried lifting the heavy steel beam trapping his leg, every muscle in her body screaming in pain, her baby crying against her chest, yet her determination unshaken. She shouted for others to help, but still no one moved, and Daniel realized the bitter truth. All his father's wealth, all his pride, all his influence meant nothing in this moment. The only hope he had was the courage of a poor mother who had nothing to give but her willpower. Maria whispered to her baby, "Hold on, my love, mommy has to save this boy." And using a metal rod she found nearby, she created a lever, straining, pushing, gasping, until slowly, painfully, she freed his leg. Daniel screamed in agony but also relief, and Maria pulled him out, dragging him away from the smoke as the crowd finally began to clap. Though none of them had lifted a finger before, Daniel clung to her arm, his voice breaking. Why did you save me? After all the times I ignored people like you." And Maria, wiping sweat from her face, answered softly, "Because life is worth more than pride. Young men, one day you'll understand that the richest heart is not measured by money but by kindness." Her words sank deep into him, more powerful than any lecture, and as the ambulance sirens approached, Daniel's vision blurred, but in that blur he saw the face of a poor woman with a baby, the only person who proved humanity still existed. And that night when the news flashed across every TV channel, millionaire's son saved by poor maid carrying her baby, people across the city debated. Some mocked the crowd's cowardice, others praised Maria's bravery, and Daniel, lying in a hospital bed, replayed the moment again and again, realizing that his life had been saved not by wealth, not by status, but by compassion. And this was only the beginning of a transformation that would shake his world and his father's empire, because sometimes one act of courage from the least expected person changes everything. So if you are touched by this powerful story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because Chapter 2 will reveal how Daniel's journey with Maria and her baby unfolds, and trust me, you won't want to miss the shocking turns ahead.